So, but then, after your secondary education, you proceeded into university,
Yeah,
went through pre-science
yeah,
before your diploma.
yeah.
So, what was your life like after this so much encounters with the Lord? What was your life like during your pre-science and your diploma before your degree?
All right. I would say my life was actually a young man confused, looking for something he can't understand, even though he knows that he has a call from God, but doesn't know how to figure it out, doesn't know how to go about it, and he's also afraid of doing it God's way because he doesn't want to suffer. So I was confused. I was into. I had no peace, and that is what led me to drugs, alcohol, and women. So I was just searching to fill a vacuum in me, which the more I tried to fill it with alcohol, it's becoming more empty. The more I tried to fill it with women companionship, the more empty it becomes. The more I try to fill it with drugs, the more empty I feel. So I was actually a mess. That is the word. Throughout my diploma, throughout my pre-science, throughout my diploma, and even the beginning of my degree.
So why didn't you cry out to the Lord, as He has always saved you and He has always delivered you and He's always revealed Himself to you? So why don't you just cry out to Him? What was holding you back?
What was holding back is self. I was battling with self. I knew that God wants me,
But you don't want to go.
but I don't want to give myself.
Okay.
I also knew that in a state of dilemma, whereby I'm in between to live or to die, I always know that He has His way of coming in to save me for His plans, which I'm actually running from, like, what's his name?
Jonah.
Yeah, I was like
Jonah
Jonah.
entered the big
I
whale's
was like
mouth.
Jonah. Alright. So that is it.
Okay. So, but finally, you gave yourself.
Yeah.
You actually surrendered. So,
Yeah.
what happened? What led to that?
What led to that was, I went to the university after I finished secondary school. So I went to the university. I said throughout my pre-science, I was a nurse, diploma, a nurse. So during my diploma, I was into all manner of life, and there is this because when I was doing diploma, I was living with my brother, friend, family before I got my own house.
Okay.
So I lived there for about a year. So my brother friend that is called Owo, we call him Owo. So Owo is Peter's friend. Peter is my brother. So I was living in his house for about a year. His wife friend, one day visited the house. Her name, so she visited the house, and she's older than me. She's about some years older. It's very beautiful lady, and she likes me. She came to sell gold to her. She sells gold. So she was also a student. So she came and after selling the gold, chains and all that, she gave me a sign that she likes me. And that was pretty actually I also paid for an apartment. So I was to move into my house. So I discussed that with Owo's wife, and which is her friend. She told me that she's sure that her friend likes me. And on the second occasion she came, I was about to go to my house, which I paid for. So this lady had to drop me. She picked me up and she dropped me in my new apartment. And dropping me there, she invited me for her birthday, which is celebrating the upper week, which I went. So when I went for the birthday, thereafter, she was not the one that approached me, and she told me that she loves me, she wants me to be her boyfriend. And I loved her boldness. She's a pretty lady. And that was how I was really dating. But she became my girlfriend. I never knew what she was into. But along the way, it manifested. So, in my soul search, during that trauma, I've finished my diploma program, begin my degree in law now, and then a degree in law. So I had to, in that place, I want to go back a bit. After that, she dropped me in my house again, and we had sex in my new apartment. And from there onwards, she started taking me to, she's a very big girl. She's rich. At that time, she's driving CLK. She's driving on that Benz, expensive cars. She had 3 cars then, living in a very big compound. And I was what she calls her chingon boyfriend. Because she was actually dating a big man, dating a general. I met a general in her house, a high-profile general. She was also taking me to the governor's office. She was dating the governor too. So I'm just a side boyfriend. But she claimed to love me. Why those ones? She's collecting money from them. So she took me to Port Harcourt. We lodged in a hotel. Some other times she takes me to club, takes me to different high-profile places. To a point I was distracted. I was being distracted in school because time was supposed to be going to lecture. We are sleeping and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning in our own apartment. She was living too so comfortably. So after my first semester degree law, then I had to go back to Lagos. So in Lagos, I was at home one day. That was during holiday. Then suddenly I drove to buy a smoke, marijuana. So I went to buy marijuana. I came back after perfume my room. I smoked, and after smoking, I went to the shower. I had a shower in my room. Then I went to lay down to sleep. And while I was, it was like I'm about to sleep. Like that point whereby you are leaving. You're falling asleep, and something happened that I saw in a trance, which means suddenly my wall turned to a very big TV, and I saw the whole world running. Everybody was just running, and trumpet was blowing. I looked at the cloud. The whole cloud is filled with angels, white horses. All of them were in the horse, and they were coming down in their thousands or millions, descending in their horses. And they were all blowing trumpets. And everybody in the whole world was running. Everybody was running. So I was running too. So while we were running, people were disappearing. And we ran for hours. We ran for hours. We ran to a point that I lost strength. I would fall and stand up with me running. So, to a point I fell on a tree. Strength gone. So I was laying on the tree. I was lying down on the tree. And I was crying because everybody is gone. Because I was the only one left in the whole world. Everybody had disappeared. It was so quiet. I was the only one left. So I fell on the tree. I was just crying on the tree, and I heard a voice in my spirit. I believe also God was training me here to hear Him. So my training to Him was did not start when I'm born again. It started before I got born again. So I heard a voice in my spirit said, "Chibuzo, look up." So I just looked up on the tree that I was laying on, a very big tree I saw when I fell on the tree. So the tree now turned to a cross of Jesus Christ. That I was actually holding a cross of Jesus. It was a cross of Jesus, very mighty, and just crucified on the cross. When I saw that it was a cross, I got a little hope. And I cried out loud. I said, "Lord, save me." I held the cross. I said, "Lord, save me." So when I prayed that prayer, then it was like a bomb. Boost! The cross scattered and the particles, it busted. And the particles were falling. All of them were hitting me. Boom, boom, boom. And the dust. So they all fell on me, hitting me. All the like stones, all the particles were hitting me. And I cried with all my strength to the point that I was groaning. And that the only hope I have is gone. It's gone.
Okay.
So the next thing that happened, that then suddenly, because my head was bowed, I heard that voice again, "Chibuzo, look up," in my spirit. So I looked up. As you can say in your mind, people say their mind, but we say in our spirit, because I always say that you speak to us in our spirit, but it's being interpreted in our mind. Yeah. So then I looked up again. Behold, I saw the Lord in His glory coming down. Gravity is above gravity, which means He doesn't fall. He was just descending gradually from up. He was coming gradually until His two legs matched the ground, and His hand was stretched. Immediately, His feet touched the ground. He bent down and He looked me eyeball to eyeball, stretched His hand like that. And I was not looking at His fingers, looking at His eye, the glow in His eye, the hairs glowing in diamonds, in gold, in silver, and sparkling lights. The eye blue, diamond blue, sparkling black, sparkling the white side, the eyelid, everything sparkling, so handsome. What the word handsome? So, and what He said to me was, He said, "Son, what will it profit you to gain the whole world and lose your soul? What will you give in exchange for your soul?" To be sincere with you, friend, I don't know that all these things are in the Bible, because I was not raised with the Bible. I wasn't in the Bible. The only thing I knew about Bible when I was growing up was I always tear Bible to smoke marijuana. That's the only thing I know about Bible. I don't study Bible. But it was after I got born again that I knew there is something called rapture. I knew that I studied Thessalonian, and I saw exactly what I saw happen. Thessalonian told us how it happened. That is exactly what I saw happening. And in terms of what He told me also, only profit to get God is actually also in the Bible, and exactly the same word that I never knew it was in the Bible. When you study the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you find where Jesus says something like that. So, and after that incident, that day, when I woke up from the bed, I was told that they poured 100 buckets of water. The whole bed is soaked with sweat. And I could remember it was around that kind 3 a.m. that I said, "Lord Jesus." But let me get back here, because when I came back, I started talking with Him. I said arguing with him. If I agree, what happens with my life?
Okay.
How do I go about
How do
it?
you go about your friends?
My friends, my family,
Will they believe you?
would they believe, not just about them believing me, but how will life be after if I accept you? What will life be like?
But you've seen
What will the
other
future
people.
be like? Yeah.
You've seen those who are serving you, just they are suffering.
Yeah, they're so
You
suffering.
don't want to.
I don't want to mingle with that. And to a point, you begin to ask me questions that who made the tree, who made that, who provide for them. I was God. But I argued with the Lord till then. What I said to the Lord that I finally accepted, I said, Lord, if I must accept this, that the way you were with Moses, you will be with me. The way you were with, I heard about Paul, you will be with me. The way you were with Peter, Matthew, the apostles, the story they taught us in secondary school during our religious CRK, we talked about the great heroes of the Bible, how God used them, Samson and David. So I want to see you manifest that way in my life. If you do that, I will go. I'm ready. So, and the Lord gave me assurance that I said I want to experience you for myself, but I never knew what I was asking and trying for. So, and that was how I think around 5 a.m. that argument ended, and I accepted the Lord. I received it in my heart, and I went to my brother room, my big brother, and knocked and said that I've given my life to Jesus. I'm born again. So it was looking at me strangely. I walked and I told my immediate elder one. I told my sisters, and everyone was just looking at me strangely. What's this man doing this morning? That was how my journey began. But I'll also tell of what happened when I went back to university.
So that was how it all began.
That's how it all began.
You finally
I gave my
your
heart.